First Nation and Native American Reservation Sightings, Part 15. The Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation. The Fort Berthold Indian Reservation, located in western North Dakota in the counties of McKenzie, Mountrail, McLean, Mercer, and Dunn, has in times past a very long history of recorded sightings. None of the accounts were aggressive or horribly alarming, and there were no physical attacks. A Mr. Travis Rodenheiser reported there were a couple of sightings on the Fort Berthold Reserve, 23 miles north of where he lives in North Dakota in 2004 and 2005. There were several reports starting around February 22nd, according to Glenda Embry, who was in charge of tribal public affairs for the Fort Berthold Reservation, described one of several incidents. A local resident said the children were playing outside in the trailer court. They were the ones to see the Sasquatch. They began screaming, which scared the Sasquatch back into the trees. Embry said the children described it as huge and that it pushed through those trees like they were mere shrubs. It moved very fast. On February 24th, two other men from the Fort Berthold Reservation were driving on Highway 22 when they saw a Bigfoot-type creature walking up on the road. Then it went into the roadside ditch and continued walking down there. Then another vehicle on the opposite side of the road also stopped when it saw the creature. But the Bigfoot, realizing it was being observed, quickly headed toward the tree line. They found footprints that showed it had almost 5-foot strides. Dennis Fox Jr. of the Fort Berthold Tribe's Independence Program tried to take pictures of the tracks, but the snow they were in had begun to melt by the time he got there. However, Phyllis Lincoln remembered seeing a Bigfoot in the same general area of the Fort Berthold Reservation when she was 17 years old. She says, "I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was scary." She and her 3 sisters were driving their dad's truck on their way home late from a movie. When we pulled over to the side of the road, the thing sat up. And when it sat up, it stood up. It was really tall, Lincoln said. It must have been resting or lying in the ditch next to the road. We thought, what the heck was that? We turned to look, and when it stood up, was about 8 feet tall. It didn't look at us or anything, but I remember the color of it was like kind of a mouse-colored grayish. It had real long hair. It took 1, 2, 3 steps, and it cleared a fence, like the fence was about 3 foot high, Lincoln stated. When they returned home, their grandfather told them that Bigfoot had been seen in the area for years, but had never hurt anyone. Norway House, Manitoba Cree Nation. The Manitoba sighting of 2005 generated an enormous amount of frenzied media play. On April 16th of that year, First Nation man by the name of Bobby Clark from the Norway House Cree Nation Reserve at Mission Island, Manitoba, was operating a cable ferry that carried traffic across the Nelson River. He testified that he saw the creature at quite a distance. It was the same Sasquatch-like creature that his people referred to as elder beings or elder brothers. He ran and grabbed his camera and took a fair amount of footage, but the distance was too great to get any real detail. As with most of us who have had sightings, Clark took a fair amount of criticism. The usual Bigfoot cacophony, but I personally believe deeply in his story. There was no way he could have anticipated what was to have occurred that morning. In fact, on video, he outlines how he had to run to get his camera to record the event. That doesn't sound like a man who knew there was going to be a sighting that morning, but the media, as usual, had a field day. The disbelieving press has done much to discredit any meaningful progress where witness information is concerned. It is no wonder people are reticent when it comes to reporting what they know and what they've been witness to. To be continued, and thank you for listening. There will be many parts to the reading of this book. If you like this reading, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to be sure to catch the future parts. We welcome comments, but please be considerate of others. If you have had an experience with or about Bigfoot, cryptids, UFOs, paranormal, or any other strange happenings and would like to share them on our channel to be read, please email them to sharingofstrangestories@gmail.com. Our goal is to establish a channel that can provide an outlet for people to speak freely of their experiences without ridicule from others. There are many of us out there that have had these experiences and have felt that ridicule, but ridicule will not be welcome here. Emails will be read on our channel, so please keep them family friendly. If you want to remain anonymous and do not want your name read to the public, please put that at the beginning of the email or in the subject line. Thanks again for listening and stay safe.